So in this video I will take you along the process why I chose this to be my next electric scooter. So it's in the moped category, not a real motorcycle, but more for in the city. So before we do that, first give you a little bit of introduction about Goccia. AGM Goccia is also known as this is the specific type, but the Goccia, also known as the G01TX, is their main model. AGM has similar models as, for example, the Keyway in the past. I think they had Keyway Mini or something like that. So this is their main bread and butter. It's also Goccia like the model I chose, but a little bit different. This light does not steer, so it's fixed, and only the wheels will turn. Also, this has a hub motor in the back, contrary, and also it has drum discs for braking at the back and brake disc at the front. So here you see the brake disc at the front. You see also some of the colors and the price range. So you can use this as a moped for 25 kilometers an hour, but also 45 kilometers an hour. In the Netherlands, that is snorfiets. So 25, and bromfiets more the moped 45. Also the price is around 1500 euros of this model, and if you want a special model, for example, different painted wheels are in the bracket of 1600 euros. Keep this in mind. So you see it in this golden edition, but also, for example, here in this edition with a black coat and red rims, also 1600. And special models, for example, for delivery, 1900 euros. So you get a basket here, bigger battery. So that's quite a good deal. And also something to carry packages, for example, pizza with you. Take this in consideration. Also, one thing to take into consideration is that if you want a bigger battery, those all come with a 20Ah battery, which is a lot smaller than the one that is in the Goccia. I will show you in a second. But if you look at the accessories, for example here, and you scroll to the bottom, you see that a battery with 30Ah is 825 euro, whereas this is 525 euro. So if you want to spec it with this battery instead of that one, you have to pay a premium of 300 euros. So with that, you will be quite expensive. 1600 euros plus 300 euros is 1900 euros to begin with. So take that into consideration. You see that you have some things for carry, luggage space, but also comfort. The interesting thing I find is that this is scooter-ish type. So you can have, for example, this baggage parts mounted, but also here in the middle you can have a small how do you say it, a small carrier, and that you can fit then, for example, this bag in or another bag, so it stays there. That's quite interesting. So you have quite a lot of accessories that you might be able to use. Then back to the model, so you have the G0100, which is this model, as you can see here. Once it has a 30Ah battery, it becomes a G1200. Here you see also that thing in place where you can put the bag in and stays fit. You can still put your feet in if you want to, but you also have here this little leeways. Also look at this brake disc, which is different than the model I will show you in a minute. The other model is a more expensive one. It's more of a traditional scooter. One way back. Let's go to the G0100 one more time and show you also, for example, its power. So for example, getting to this one. So it has a hub engine, and the power is 1000 watts, as you can see here. And if you then go to the next model, G2000, which is more a traditional scooter, as you can see here, so a lot more protection against the wind, etc., but also a little bit different, also different price. So you see here, this comes with a 30Ah battery, as you can see with all these models. See? Well, let's get this one. So you get a better battery with this one, but the price is also 2,300 for nine. So it's about, the other ones are 1,500 if you don't have special edition. But this comes with a bigger battery, so it's like 550 euros more dear. So it's more expensive. And if you then look at the engine, you see that it has a 1500 watt hub engine. Hub engines are cool. They are need a lot less maintenance, but they are also very silent. They are not as good at climbing as compared to mid-engines, but that leads me to the last one. And my choice. So this is the G01TX. It's more of a cross model of the Goccia, so you have more cross-orientated tires. But also you see you have a different brake discs here, see? Also the colors are a lot more vivid. So you have, for example, here you have a green theme that's also carried on in the wheels, for example. And without that extra price. So the special edition with this battery, because this already comes with a 30H battery, you would be 1,800 euros for the normal one, and then you would not have this plate, you would not have this, you would not have this steering wheel which turns when you turn the bike, also not that fat rims, and you won't have this mid-engine, you don't have the disc brake, the upgraded disc brakes, but also disc brake at the back. So this is quite a steal. Now back to the colors. Here you see the green one. I really liked the green one. I also like the white one. But the green, I thought it was the best one for me. But then I looked at it again and I thought all those black things make it a little bit unconnected, in my opinion. This is a little bit like a stick-on, like a sticker. Whereas if the same we see in the white one, because still you have a lot of black themes and then blue rims, but the red rims and on the black, everything is black. See, everything is black. So this is one solid chunk in my opinion, and I liked it a lot more. So I chose this one over the other colorations. You can still add the things of the G1000, the accessories. A lot of them you can still add on this model. Only a little bit different because you of course have a little bit different headlights configuration. The other headlight was a lot less high, so the basket at the front would be troublesome. But for the price you get an extremely good deal. And also that engine is stronger to begin with. Let's start with the engine. Here you see the engine. So it comes with 1100 watts mid-engine. But it has a peak of 1800 watts, so stronger than on both of the other models. And even at the standard, it's stronger than the G1000. Also the rims are wider, still 14-inch rims, so big enough, but still also very nimble. And here you see the range at moped speed, so 25 kilometers an hour, so slow moped. We call it snorfiets in the Netherlands. And you see the range at 45 kilometers an hour. You see the green one. It looks terrific here in the forest, in my opinion. But I will show you a little bit more in depth, and that gives you an indication of this bike in more detail. Here you see the Goccia website, Goccia bike, and they have an on-road version and an off-road version. Off-road version doesn't have this dual seat configuration, not the headlight, etc. So a lot lighter, more off-road. Also the colors that you see depicted here, this the white one is carried over. This one is not carried over, no mark. This one, the green one, is carried over, the white and the green one, but see, it looks like a sticker, no? In my opinion, it looks like a sticker. You see the black one, but the black they made this for the Netherlands markets, still black, and I liked it lots more. Also, this is still black, so you have one black theme there, which I like a lot more than what they did here on this all those other models. So therefore, I chose the black one. The orange one I would really like, but still the sticker, but the rest screams KTM, which I really, really like. So, one of the features is that you have a very good LCD display, very nice and mature, and it has all the details that you need without being too crowded. You get good dual rear suspension. Here you see the rear suspension here and here. You see also the chain, so from the mid-engine to the rear wheel. Also you see here that it doesn't have drum brakes but real disc brakes. See? It's also an upgrade. Dual carrier is the same. So you can also remove this and just place, for example, a racket there for luggage. You get a bigger battery, so 1.4 kilowatt hour, and which is also removable. So in winter you can remove it and just store it inside. Here you see that luggage rack that can also be placed on this model, as you can see here. And you also see the big front suspension, so it's more sturdy also at the front, more sturdy at the back. So you have a better ride and for a very good price as well. You see some of the details. At 45 kilometers an hour you have a range of 52 kilometers, it says here, so the 50 is quite on point. Climbing angle is 15 degrees, so some other have a better climbing angle. Max load is that you can have 150 kilograms on, so 2 persons would fit. And you see again the rated power and the rated torque, which is quite nice. Another thing to consider, in my opinion, is, let's go back to this black one again. So what is so cool about this specific design, in my opinion, you have a little bit of the design of, for example, Surum, which also has this cross moped look. It can be used as a moped as well in the Netherlands. But also with the mid-engine and the chain drive. So you have all those details. But the Surum costs about 3 times this amount. That's one. Also, you cannot take one with you, so you're only driving solo, so you can take a pillion passenger with you, and you don't have the storage capacity of the scooter is designed, which leaves a lot more room for taking things with you. And then again, with the price, you have all the benefits in this model, which I really, really like. Of course, a hub engine would be less maintenance than this chain drive, but this would also make a little bit more noise. It gives you a little bit more involving experience, which I like, because electric vehicles, as I mentioned, a hub drive is very low on maintenance, but also low on sound. And that can be very good because you're very silent, but the drawback would be that no one hears you, and this you will hear a little bit. This is, in my opinion, the best bang for your buck at the moment. Have a great day. This video is the battle of the AGM Goccias. In other markets also, for example, known as the Kiwi Easy Mini, that's this model. Then in those markets, what year it is called the AGM Goccia in the Netherlands. This is the most renowned model, it's also known as the G0100. So this is the classical Goccia. And I have in the same coloration the G01TX Goccia. So this is more of a cross model. And I will walk you through the differences. So first of all, here you have normally it comes with a 20H battery. You can also have it with a 30H battery. The price ranges for this special paint is about 1600 euros. Without special offset red rims, you for example would pay 1500 euros. If you're very lucky and you buy an off-colored scheme, for example some teal colorations that are not bought that much, then you might get it for 1350 euros. You can have it for a slow moped, 25 kilometers an hour, but also normal moped, 45 kilometers an hour, which is the same for this model. I had the same color scheme, so black and with red accents in the wheels for this comparison. Then some of the differences. Here you see a chain, you don't see that in the other model. So this has a hub engine here. This comes standard with a 38H battery, so if you want to compare it on price, you pay 100 euros more for this with the same battery and the same color scheme than this one. In my opinion, you get a lot more bike with this one, and we will walk through that. You also see some details, so for example, longer mirrors here, longer indication lights, both front and rear, as compared to the more round theme that you see here in the mirrors and indication lights and also there. This comes with a hub engine, so it's very maintenance free and very silent, and this comes with a chain drive mid-engine, so the engine is here and it goes to this chain. The power is distributed to the back wheels. This is better for hill climbing, and of course will cost you a little bit more maintenance for maintaining the chain and cleaning the chain, and also maintaining and replacing chain and this gear, so to say. Also, you might notice that this looks a lot more like a motorcycle. This is a little bit more between a motorcycle and a bicycle. And it also has a drawback that, for example, this light unit will stay in one direction, facing front, even when you steer the steering wheel, whereas this one is mounted a lot higher and can turn with the steering wheel, which I find a big pro. Also, I like some of the other details. So for example, you see that they have a matte coverage, and here it is more of a gloss coverage, and this makes it a little bit more standard, like a sticker in my opinion. If you look at the rims, these are solid rims from aluminium, whereas this one are spoke wheels. Spoke wheels have the benefit that they are lighter and can handle more stress, for example jumping or off-road, whereas this one are easier to clean, more sturdy in other dimensions if you're not good jumping, and also go very well with this hub design. You see also that this stands on the we call the bok, so you can stand it completely straight, whereas this has like a normal motorcycle, so you have to steer it sideways to put it into its place, which has a drawback, especially for maintenance. This is a lot easier to store. This looks a little bit more like a real motorcycle though. Also, if you look at the brakes, you see here uprated brakes at the front, for example. It also has disc brakes at the back, you can see depicted there, whereas this one has drum disc at the back and a normal brake at the front, disc brake. Other things to consider is that you have this flat loading place in both models, which is very nice. You see that there's a little bit more reinforcement in the G01TX, so this depicted here as compared to the G1000 depicted here, or 1200 with a bigger battery if you want to compare apples with apples. Other things to consider is that you, for example, see that the reinforcement of the frame ends here on the G1000 1200, and here it has an additional layer on top there. Also here you see for the passenger, you see more reinforcement as compared to the G1000. See, only this one is placed there, so its reinforcement is a little bit less pronounced. Also more clearance on this model because the plate is a little bit more to the bottom, so you could, for example, store something easier there than you can do here. All these things are still also in this motorcycle, but they are a little bit different. So this, for example, this detail I really like, the beak I like, the rims are better, the discs are better. But this is also a heavier bike, so it's about 15 kilograms heavier as compared to this one. So if carrying is of your consideration, you should consider this one because it's lighter, 15 kilograms lighter with the same battery. So this is without battery about 55 kilograms, and this is almost 70 kilograms without battery. Battery is 8 kilograms with a 38H battery, which results in 1.4 kilowatt hour. So with the 28H battery, it's 6 kilograms and a bit, and that would result in a little bit under 1000 kilowatt hour. 1 kilowatt hour, sorry for that. 1000 watt hour. So that's it in consideration here, and you have them side by side in the same coloration scheme. And I think in general this is a good bike to begin with, a little bit more simple, less cost. This is a little bit more expensive to maintain, I will give you that. But also a lot more sturdy, more bike for your money. And if you want the same battery, you can get this special color scheme for €100 less than this one, which is a steal in my opinion. Also the engine here is 1100 watts nominal. This one is 1000 watt nominal. This one can peak to 1800 watts. I don't know where this one can peak. It's not described. So it appears to be a stronger base to begin with. Also because mid-engine is often better for climbing hills than those hub engines, more simpler designs. Wishing you a great day. Out.